Hi everybody watching this in playback. This is a live stream, so I will be talking to actual people, and if you still want to follow along with this image, you will be able to. Hi Elizabeth, hi Angela. I figured I'd come on a little bit early today because my father-in-law is coming up, so I'm not sure how much time I'll have. Hi Rachel. Thanks everybody for being here. Hi Debbie. Hi Marina. Oh, turn my sound down on this phone. Hi Robin, I'm good, thanks. I hope you guys are all doing well too. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi Kayla. I also apologize if you guys hear any background noise, even though the boys are downstairs, so they are crazy loud. Is this better, Kayla? I was gonna say it's the same as last time. It should be okay. Hi Lori. Anybody else that I've missed? Oh, that's exciting, Debbie. I'm glad to have you here. I'm good, Kayla. Thank you. I hope you're doing well too. So you guys might have noticed the little dollar sign in the chat there. My YouTube was officially monetized last Monday, so that's super exciting. I was expecting it to take over a month. I don't even think it took over 2 weeks, which was pretty cool. Thanks, Angela. Thanks, everybody. Oh, we're going to be interrupted by my little man here. In here, kiddo. Come here. Yeah, come here. Okay, you got half an hour, okay?
I put that game on.
Oh, can we do it later?
No,
Yes, you can either play on the phone or not. We'll do it later, I promise.
I want that game so bad.
Yeah, well, you are gonna have to wait. I don't even know what it's called. You're gonna have to show me later, okay? Try and find the video again. Go on. I'm live streaming right now, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Later on. You have to remind me though, okay? Sorry about that. He's got attitude like crazy lately. Robin, I've been on YouTube since, I want to say I uploaded my first video in 2015 or 2016, but I didn't start seriously YouTubing until within the last year or so. Angela, this is...
So did you do one? Did you do one? Come on.
Mermaids, Fairies, and Other Girls of Whimsy.
And did you do one I wanted? Did you do one?
Okay, well you remember those and you can show me later, okay? Go on.
This
I'm
one.
not putting them on right now, honey.
Oh.
You keep up with that attitude and I'm going to take the phone away and you won't have it at all. Thanks, Robin. Oh, I know, he is cute, but he is just a hellion. I'm not sure where he's getting this attitude lately. Usually he listens no problem, but the last week or so, he must be going through something because he's just, oh boy, just completely different right now. Hi, Kim. Hi to anybody else that I might have missed. He is 4, Elizabeth. And I should say that he's pretty good for a 4-year-old too, even with his little attitude issues sometimes. So someone was asking me last time if I had any inspiration for this picture, and I actually do. It's this one, and for the most part, I'm going to not copy this at all, but I'm going to attempt to do the mist in the background. And it was actually my friend Leslie, I believe, who did this one. So that's the one I'm inspired by. But aside from the fog, everything else will be my own. And she said for the fog that she used a Posca pen and a Q-tip, so that will be pretty interesting. Kayla, I do have a printer, but it's out of ink, but I can eventually get ink. And yes, I forgot to message you my email. I will definitely do that. So I'm not sure what I want to do today. I finally finished her hair. I cannot believe it probably took me about 2 hours to do her hair. Hi Grace, thanks for being here. But thankfully, when you get her hair done, you pretty much have almost half the picture done. So I was thinking maybe the ship, kind of start on the background maybe, or we could do her skin. Can't really start on the water yet. That'll have to be one of the last things. Once everything down here is colored, we can do the water. Kim says skin. Skin is always fun to do. We could definitely do that. I think once we do the skin, that is pretty much half the picture done too. Rachel, I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe a green or a blue. I usually do the eyes last because I like them to be kind of like the focal point of the picture. So once I have all the colors in there, it'll be a little bit easier to decide. But I am leaning towards green or blue. Okay, let's go skin. I was also going to ask, is it better like this or is it better with the light on? That's what I was thinking, Rachel. Either way, it's the same for me, Grace. I can see the image fine. I just want to make sure that you guys can see it good. Oh, we have two Elizabeths. Hi, Elizabeth R. Okay, let's tackle her skin, and I'm going to do my usual. So I'm going to grab Parma Violet, Nectar, Peach, Light Peach, and White. And this was a skin combination that I got from Shine Bright Designs on YouTube. She colors a lot of Hannah images, or not Hannah, sorry, Jasmine images. And once I found her, or that skin combination, that's the one I wanted. If this light on the page is bothering you, let me know and I can close my curtains, or my blinds, I guess. Oh, that's exciting, Grace. Yeah, goldish yellow eyes would actually look really interesting too. We might do that. Hi, Connie. Thanks for being here. Hi, Jody. Hi, Pretty Cat. Okay, I'm just going to quickly close my blinds here. Bear with me. Okay, perfect. So now, is it better just like that, or is it better with the light? On my other phone, I think it looks better with the light, but you guys let me know. Hi, Katrina. Anybody else I've missed? Thanks for being here. Okay, perfect. We'll keep the light on then. So I'm going to go in with the Parma Violet, and I pretty much follow the same steps for all the skin I do. And that is pretty much outlining a lot of her face. So for me, a lot of the time, I imagine that the lighting is coming from right in front of her face, so all of the highlights will kind of be centered. Yes, thank you, Grace. You guys can change your quality settings if you click the 3 dots on the screen and go to the little gear icon. It'll let you change the quality. If you go to 720, that's in HD. So I'm going to go a little bit darker near the edges, and then I'm going to fade out as I go towards the center of her face. Thank you, Connie. I absolutely love her hair. That is probably my favorite thing about coloring Hannah images, is the amount of hair colors that you can do is endless. So I'm going to give a little bit of a shadow underneath her eyebrows, just so it kind of looks like they're raised. And a little bit of a shadow at the crease of her eyes. Hi, Lynn. That's okay. Lurk away. Thanks for being here. Elizabeth, this is Parma Violet. So I'm basically just going to outline her whole face. I'm not using a very firm pressure at all. But if I want to make it darker, what I'll do is I'll just go over the same area a handful of times just to darken it up without pressing harder. I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow in under her lip. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of shadow under her nose here to kind of create a Cupid's bow look. And anybody following along, you don't have to do this, but this is what I do, and that is add a nose. So what I'll usually do is just start with really light lines. I'm not even sure if you'd be able to see them on camera. If I bring this up a little bit, you might be able to. So you can barely see those lines, they're so light. Hi Charlotte, thanks for being here. Aww, that's cute, Angela. Yeah. Okay, so it's really light, you could barely even see it on camera, and what I'll usually do is I will bring the nose up and kind of thin it as I go up. So right now it's about a nail thick at the end, and then I'm going to gradually narrow it as I come up, and I'm going to curve it towards the crease of her eyes. Now, normally your nose kind of curves towards your eyebrows, but I find with the characteristics of Hannah girls, if you bring that all the way up to their eyebrows, it just doesn't look right because of the proportions. So I usually find that bringing it towards the line of the crease in her eye works a lot better and looks better. And aside from those lines there, that's pretty much all I do. So I don't really full out put a nose in there, but I like to put the suggestion of a nose. Just so it kind of adds to, but doesn't take away from Hannah's work. I'm just going to go in and put another layer against the sides where the shadows are, just to darken them up a little bit. Thank you, Charlotte. I'm very happy with how her hair turned out. Yeah, Connie, it's kind of difficult. One thing that you could do, one thing I like with the Hannah pictures, is you just grab out a book with thumbnails here. You could take the thumbnails and just kind of try and put in, grab a pencil. Try and put in like little lines in pencil along the noses of some of them. And that'll kind of help you figure out where you want the nose. And then it gets a little bit trickier for ones where the faces are turned. But I put noses on pretty much all my Hannah girls, so if you want to watch back in some of my color alongs, if you find the parts where I do skin, I've done a few where the noses have been turned and stuff. And in my biased opinion, they don't turn out too bad. Yeah, and then it kind of saves you from potentially wrecking a picture if you get too nervous and end up messing up. So again, same thing for the rest of her. I'm just going to pretty much follow along the lines of her body and put in shadows. Put in a shadow underneath her necklace here. And I'll probably do that for most of the necklace as well. And the reason I more like to have the light going full on in front of her is because when we put the shadows in like that, it makes it look like instead of, her skin just ending here, it curves behind. So it kind of gives it that 3D effect. Oh, Elizabeth, I have a hard time deciding on hair color. In the first stream of this, I actually let everybody here choose. The majority said pink, so then we had a decision between more of like a raspberry to light pink or this crazy purple pink combination, and that's what everybody picked. Hi Carrie, thanks for being here. That book is the Whimsy Girls Christmas book. And there are lots of flip-throughs. I think it's definitely worth buying, but then again, I think all of Hannah's books are worth buying. And I especially like this one because I don't have too many Christmas books. This is probably one of the few that I have. Actually, this is probably the only full-on Christmas book that I have. I have other books that have some Christmas pages in them, or wintry type pages, but I definitely like this one, and I definitely think it's worth buying. And I do have a tutorial on her too, or I guess a full-out color along, not really a tutorial. But the book that we're working on is The Mermaids, Fairies, and Other Girls of Whimsy. And this is a great one because it has a little bit of everything in it. That's okay, Connie. You're not the only one. A lot of people don't give them noses, and a lot of people actually don't like when you give them noses. I've learned that. Aw, thanks, Kayla. Oh, that's exciting, Kim, especially with Christmas right around the corner. I'm just going to come back in here right away under her neck and just darken that up because that's probably going to be the darkest shadow on her. Yep, no problem, Carrie. Me too, Angela. It's no secret that she is my favorite artist. I know my friend Sabrina is always trying to pull me away from her books. She always wants to do buddy colors, but in different books. It's hard to get me away from my Hannah pictures. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow in underneath this piece of cloth here. And then I don't think I'm going to put a shadow on this side of the cord, but I will on this side. Why? I'm not sure. I'm just kind of going with my instinct there. Put a little bit of a shadow along this line of the water here because the shell would be resting in the water, but you can't really see anything there. No, Elizabeth, I never get bored doing Hannah girls. Yep, Connie. This is the cover of the Christmas book. Oh, yes, Kayla, you do. It's okay. I almost forgot to remind you yesterday, too. The thing I love about Hannah images is, you know, if you had to color them all the same way all the time, I probably would get bored. The only thing I usually color the same way is her skin, and I love doing skin, so I don't really find that boring at all. But there's so many different aspects in the pictures, like some have ships or like trees or forested areas. So there's enough variety that it keeps it from getting boring, and then I can never tire of coloring hair because you have so many different color options, whether you do single colors or ombres or have streaks in it. The options are just completely endless, and so I don't think I could ever get bored coloring a Hannah image. In fact, saving this one to do on stream was actually pretty hard. I kept pulling it out and looking at it once I finished the hair and trying to plan other things on it. And I just wanted to work on it so bad, but I wanted to save it. But I do have another couple pictures that I have to start anyways, so. I'm also going to define her cleavage a little bit here by just kind of drawing a really narrow bird shape. Maybe we'll put a little bit of a shadow in at the bottom here. I usually do use Prismas, Elizabeth. They're my favorite pencil, but a lot of the times in this book, because I do find that the paper in this one eats up my Prismas a lot, I do like to use my Prismacolor Scholars and my Marco Ruffines in this book more. But I also have Inktense and Neocolors, and I love to use those as well. Hi Starbuck Arts, thanks for being here. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for her shadows. I do like how her nose is coming along, so I'm just going to go in and darken that up a little bit. fade out that line a little bit on either side of her nose. You definitely should try Skin and Hair Carry. I think you would love it. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun. Okay, I'm going to switch to my Nectar, and what this one does is it pretty much neutralizes the Parma Violet and turns it into more of a skin color. So again, I'm still using a light to medium pressure, and I'm just going to go over everywhere that I put the Parma Violet. And then I'm going to fade it out a little bit past where I faded out the Parma Violet. Yeah, Sammy does really good undertones, Grace. And I used to start with the lightest color first. I'm not sure when that changed for me. Probably when I got a lot more comfortable doing skin. Because I'm kind of a lazy colorer. I want it to look good, or I guess colorist. I want it to look good, but without putting a lot of effort into it. Thanks, Kayla. I'm going to come in on her nose. And I'm just going to follow the lines that I already have placed for it. I'm going to fade it out a little bit. And then I'm also going to put just a little light fade going inwards as well. Yeah, the little one's upstairs again. I think him and his daddy are going to have a bath or something. Grace, I do. That's one topic I absolutely love talking about. Okay, Kayla, no problem. I have two cats. I got Stitch, which my boyfriend actually brought home one day and surprised me with him. I thought he was kidding. I was almost in tears because I'd wanted a cat for about 4 years, but we have a pit bull named Boomer, and he's an absolutely great dog. Great with people, but he's not much of an animal lover. So we always said that we'd have to wait till after Boom was gone to get a cat. But then Rain brought Stitch home, and Stitch kind of had a little bit of a gender crisis. We thought he was a girl for the longest time. It turns out he was a boy. And he was pretty good as a kitten, but as he got older, he was pretty violent, liked to attack people and stuff, and just kind of an overly excited cat. So my mother-in-law came up with this great idea of getting another cat, which I am all for. I love cats. So then we went to the animal shelter and adopted Lilo. So now we have Lilo and Stitch, and where Stitch is completely crazy and loves playing, Lilo is just super gentle and cuddly. And the change in Stitch since we got her is amazing. He doesn't attack people anymore. He's a lot more calm. He still doesn't really like being touched or bugged. He's kind of an antisocial cat, but he's happy now. So I think the two of them definitely needed each other. They even each other out. So we've got Boomer the pit bull, Lilo, and Stitch. And Stitch is just a generic tabby, and Lilo is a Russian blue, I think. Yep, named after the Disney characters. When we thought Stitch was a girl, his name was Kahlua. But once he was a boy, Carbon watched Lilo and Stitch and then just started calling him Stitch. And of course, if you've seen the movie, you know that Stitch is a little troublemaker, loves destroying everything and getting into stuff, so that name definitely fit. Still doing the same thing here, it's pretty repetitive. Just going over the Parma Violet with the nectar and bringing it out a little bit. Yeah, we tried lots of different things. Playing with him, tiring him out. Nothing worked until we got Lilo. I'm glad that we didn't have to give him away. Usually I wouldn't, but with having a kid in the house, if he would have kept up with his antics, we would have had to rehome him. But I would have been devastated if that had to happen. Yeah, exactly. And that's what my mother-in-law said, because they have Stitch's brother, actually. And his name's Tig. And he's just completely different than Stitch. He's just chill, loves to play, cuddle. He could be doing anything and you come up to him and pet him and he'll just lay there and purr.
Yeah?
No, Tig. Brody's kitty.
Brody's kitty?
Yeah.
I'll bring it out.
Close the door, please. Not all the way, though. So that's what my mother-in-law said. She's like, as crazy as it sounds, she's like, maybe you should get another cat. Because they have a little, I'm pretty sure it's a dwarf kitten, and she is just tiny but tough. She loves to play and attack things, and she just thinks she's this big cat that can take on anything. But with her and Tig together, they balance each other out too. Carbon, honey, close the door a little bit more, please. Turkey. Ooh, that's awesome, Angela. I'd love to have 4 cats. Charlotte, that reminds me of my sister's cat. She is definitely a fighter, not a lover. You look at her the wrong way and she hisses at you. Just waiting for the rest of Connie's story here. Oh, jeez. Poor kitty. Hi, my fairy treasures. I know you said your name in a stream the other day, but I can't remember it. Hi to anybody else that I've missed. Angie, okay, that's right. I will try my best to remember that, but I'm terrible with names. So if I do forget next time, I'm so sorry. I'll apologize in advance. So I'm just going to use the nectar to kind of put a little bit of a shadow in the little V here, and then fade it up. And then I'm also going to bring the nectar out a little bit here just to create a little bit more of a shadow. Oh, that's awful, Robin. I'm so sorry to hear that. I've never actually had to go through the death of any of my cats. They usually run away or maybe die outside because I used to have outdoor cats. So either run away or I don't really know what happened to them. I'm hoping my little black one, his name was Ambuka, I'm hoping that somebody else took him in thinking he was a stray. Because I remember my mom worked at a bar in the town that we lived in, and town is nice, is saying it nicely, because there's probably more dogs in there than people. It's more like a village maybe. And rodeo weekend, my mom finds this little black cat in the bar and goes up to the people that brought him in and asks what they were doing with him. And they're like, oh, he's a stray, we're going to take him home. And she's like, no, that's my daughter's cat. So he almost got rehomed then, so I'm hoping he didn't run away, somebody just took him in. Which he would have hated because he was definitely an outdoor cat. Okay, I'm going to bring in a couple newer colors. I'm going to grab Mulberry and Hot Pink, and I'm just going to use these for a little bit of color in her cheeks. So I'm going to start off with the Mulberry, and I'm going to bring it in on the corner here. And light to medium pressure, I'm going to bring it in about halfway to her eyeball. Or pupil, I guess. And then I'm going to fade it out. And I do the same thing on the other side. Angie, I don't think so. I'm actually working right now on a speed color that I wanted to do for Halloween, and that's it so far. This is from Jade Summers' Chibi Girls Horror. So I'm working on a speed color of this, and then I'm also supposed to be doing a buddy color with my friend Sabrina, but I haven't even started it yet. Let's see if I can find the page here. So this page here I'm supposed to be coloring too. I haven't even started yet, so I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze that one in. My plan was to have all of my Halloween videos done for October, so that way I can just focus more on my other coloring. But I am enjoying seeing everybody else's versions of that. Plus, Kayla's going to be posting a new color along in the group today anyways. Same thing for this cheek. I'm going to fade it out when we get to about her pupil. Yeah, and I usually try not to have more than one work in progress. So my OCD is going a little bit crazy right now. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to the Hot Pink. And I'm going to blend this into the Mulberry. And I'm only going to bring this out to about the end of her eyeball. And then I'm going to fade it out. whole time doing this, I kind of have this little bit of a curve motion. So I kind of curve it towards the bottom of her cheek. Oh, you're lucky, Robin. My cat's my litter box duty. But that's okay, because I'm not expected to pick up our dog's poop, so it works out. Okay, next I'm going to switch to the peach, and I'm going to use this to start burnishing in the shadow areas. So I'm going to use a little bit of a firmer pressure. And as always, small circular motions. So I'm going to completely burnish the shadows. So that would be where the Parma Violet and the Nectar are. And then I'm going to lighten up my pressure as I reach to where there's just Nectar. I'm going to lightly go over that and then bring it out further. And fade as I get closer to the center. Hi Sue, thanks for being here. I'm not sure if she's trolling or what. Oh, hello, Miss Lilo. Hi. You are not going on the shelf right now. No, no, no. Hi. Oh. You just flicked my camera with your tail, missus. What are you doing? You just like being in the way, don't you? You want on my lap? This is Lilo. She's my Russian blue. Although reading up on their heritage and stuff, she would not have been able to be a show cat because she has yellow eyes and they're supposed to have green eyes. But sometimes her eyes do look green. Oh, you're so sweet right now. Yeah, she is my cuddler. I think the only mod here right now is Kayla, and she had to go on a phone call or something. Again, if anybody is interested in being a mod, message me on Instagram and let me know. Unfortunately, I can't make anybody a mod from my phone, which is what I use to stream on. So we'd have to do that in a unlisted stream video. Okay, so in here where we've put the blush, I'm still going to use the peach to burnish the shadowed areas, and I'm going to bring this out about halfway through the blush. Well, Robin, if you're interested in being a mod, message me on Instagram then. Or Facebook or wherever. Just somewhere where I can send you a link to a private stream. Would I be able to do that even though I'm streaming on my phone, Grace? Yeah, Robin, my Instagram link should be in the description here. Okay, well, give me 1 minute, guys. I'll be right back then. Okay, well that's good to know. That's a lot easier. I wasn't sure if I could do that. So if anybody else wants to be a mod, just let me know. I can quickly run back to the computer and put you on as one. Carrie, a mod is a moderator, so basically any trolls that come in, they can either boot them, delete their comments, put them on timeout, stuff like that. And they can also put links in the chat to things as well. So basically, in short, they just moderate the chat. Charlotte, I live in Alberta, Canada. Now, the only place with shadows that I'm not going to completely burnish is her nose, because I find if I burnish with the peach, it's just a little bit too... I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but basically I want to keep it subtle looking. So I am going to put a little bit of the peach color in there and blend it out a little bit, but I'm not going to burnish this part yet. I'm also going to just bring the peach up following the lines, just so we can fade those lines out so they're not so harsh. I wish I could, I could have my laptop in here, but the only issue with it is the battery is pretty much completely dead, so we keep it plugged in all the time. The minute that you unplug it, it dies, so we just usually keep it in one spot, which is at our kitchen table. Yep, that's definitely right, Angie. I like to keep it really, really subtle, so it like suggests that there's a nose there, but it doesn't overpower the page. Or just a new battery, but the laptop is pretty old. I'm not sure of the exact model. Rain bought it a long time ago. It's probably at least 10 years old. Still works really well though, minus the battery being dead. Hi Wendy, thanks for being here. A big hello to everybody else that I've missed. Carrie, it's actually really cool here. It rained most of the morning and we've got quite a bit of wind. It's a little breezy, so everything's nice and cool right now. Definitely feels like winter's already on the way. Okay, Grace, enjoy your lunch. Thanks for being here. Oh, no problem, Wendy. I'm glad everybody from the Colorathon talked me into it. Oh, Elizabeth, that's a hard question. If I had to recommend one Hannah book, it would probably be the one that I'm working on which is Mermaids, Fairies, and Other Girls of Whimsy. And I'd recommend this one because it has a large array of images. It has some simpler ones, some more detailed ones. If you have bad eyesight or don't like detailed pictures, the book that I would recommend instead would be Sweet and Simple because, as the title suggests, it's very simple line work and images. So depending on what you more prefer, those would be the books that I would recommend, although it's a very tough question for me because realistically I recommend all of Hannah's books. Going by my favorite book, it would either be Enchanted Faces or Tattoo Darlings. The new one being Victorian Darlings. It's probably better to do PDF anyways, because then you get to print it on your own paper. I agree, Angela. All of them are amazing. No problem, Robin. Grace helped me figure it out. If you are talking about making you a mod, then I should be thanking you for being a mod for me, so thank you. Yeah, exactly, Charlotte. That would be another benefit. I do have all the PDFs as well, but only because I help Hannah with her VIP group, so I have access to all the PDFs because I have to send out the files. So I'm pretty lucky in that regards. Just gonna sharpen this pencil here quick. Another thing I'm really liking about streaming is because I use my other phone to check chat, I can also see where my page is on the screen, which is really nice. Because if any of you watch my color alongs, you'll know that I sometimes forget to move the page and make sure that it's in frame. Just gonna shut my door over a little bit here. Don't know if you guys can hear that, but the boyfriend's vacuuming the stairs. Okay, I think that's it for our peach. So we are really close to being done her skin. Like from calling your phone, Elizabeth? So with the light peach, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to burnish everything we have so far. And I'm going to carry on with that firm pressure and bring it out quite a bit until I get to where I want it to be highlighted. And I do have troubles highlighting the faces of Hannah girls. Where I usually try to save a highlight is right about here, along the middle of her nose, and then on each cheek, as well as just in the center of like her limbs and her chest and arms and stuff. I have, let's see, my Sweet and Simple is signed by Hannah, and I think my Tattoo Darlings is as well. Yeah. So I have 2 books signed by Hannah, but I still enjoy working in them. It just makes it that much more special. Oh, she wouldn't like it if she was calling me Elizabeth. I don't answer any numbers I don't know. And if I'm curious about who they are, if they don't like leave a voicemail or anything, I will put the number on my Facebook and ask my friends to call. And they usually don't call me again. Because they usually get like 5 or 6 people calling them. I just realized that I didn't use a base for her skin, and I usually do. Got a little too ahead of myself, I guess. Oh, and it sounds like the father-in-law is in town, so hopefully I have enough time to finish. So I'm just going to leave this part here. It's kind of shaded in with the light peach, but it's not completely burnished. I'm going to leave that there, and we'll burnish that with the white. I'm going to bring the light peach down around here. I'm going to use it to burnish the lines for her nose. Bring it out. And then what I do with her eyes is I will usually put a line with the light peach, and then I will just fade a little bit of it in. So that way the skin just kind of gradually stops there. I'm going to put a little bit of color on the inside of her nose here and fade it out. Try to save a little bit of a highlight there. So right about here, I'm going to bring in the light peach. I'm going to cover the area but not burnish it. And then I'll just go over and add more layers to anywhere where I think the gradient is too harsh. So I basically want it to look like the color just slowly fades out. Same thing, burnishing over everything in here. And then as I get into this little area with her cheek, I'm just going to lightly fade everything out. Again, I am going to go over the whole white space, though I don't want to leave it white, but we will be going in and burnishing with the white. Hey, little man, what you doing?
I'm on.
Shh, not so loud. I can hear you. You don't have to be that quiet. He's on his way over, or he's on his way into town now?
He's on his way into paper.
Oh, I thought he was already leaving.
Huh?
I'm confused. Okay. Thanks, kiddo. Oh, what kitty? Oh, hi, Stitch. Oh, come here. This beautiful little man is Stitch. What are you doing? Get him to say hi. You're not jumping on the shelf. I am pretty much the only one he'll tolerate. If wax bloom is what makes it shiny, then I do get that. If wax bloom isn't what makes it shiny, I honestly don't know how I don't get it because I press pretty hard. Not really hard, like I have bad wrists, but I don't really push hard enough to hurt my wrists, but hard enough to just kind of burnish it, I guess. Thanks, Jody. But I guess to answer that for the most part, it's just lots of layers, and a lot of people when they go in and burnish, they'll just full out, you know, push really hard on their pencil. But what I usually do is I will start light and then just gradually move the pencil around. And, you know, I find when you burnish an area, you're not going to be able to move the pigment around anymore. But I like to just kind of gradually move the pigment around, and then when I'm happy with how it looks, then I push really hard and really burnish the page. Hopefully that helps. I'm not really sure. I mean, I imagine if I turn it a certain way, maybe you guys can see the shininess of it. Is that wax bloom? I'm not really sure. Everybody says it makes it look white, but I don't really know what that is. Okay, aside from the white, there's her face pretty much done, so we'll move on to the rest of her body. I'm just going to completely color in a lot of these little bits here. I'm not really going to save any room for a white highlight. So this one we'll just completely color in. Same with here. And then when I get down to her arm, I'm going to blend with the light peach and fade it out, and we'll have a little bit of a highlight coming down the center of her arm. I'm just going to close my door again. I think they're being so loud and crazy that Stitch decided to escape in here. He's just laying on my floor relaxing. He's such a beautiful cat. I wish he was more cuddly. I usually get to cuddle with him about once a month for like 5 minutes, and that's about it. So same as on her face with that highlighted area, I am just going to very lightly go over with the light peach, just so it's not completely white. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Very glad to hear that. I am going to be doing laundry today too, so you're not alone there. Try not to have too much fun. Yeah, I used to use baby oil too, Angela. I liked the results, but I didn't really like the oiliness of it. I found that it took quite a while for the oiliness to disappear from the pictures, so I don't really use that much anymore. If I'm really unhappy with how something's blending, I'll usually just grab my blender pencil. Create a little bit of a shadow at the very top of her arm here with the light peach. Stitch? No. That's another weird thing about my cat, is he is infatuated with the heat register. because my son took the heat register in our living room off when Stitch was really little, and he crawled in the heat vent. Thank God I was able to get him out. But ever since then, even though he's this big cat now that's not going to fit in there, he always tries to claw off the heat register covers now. I'm not sure if you would or not, Charlotte. I imagine if you used the Q-tip in the same direction that your strands of hair go, it probably wouldn't take away from it. But that's one of those things I would probably test on another sheet of paper and see if you like it or not before putting it on your page. Oh, now you want out? Go ahead. Yeah, no problem, Charlotte. I don't know if I want to leave a little bit of a highlight here or color it in with the light peach. So I'm just going to lightly go over everything here as if it were a highlight, and we'll come back to that after. Here I'm just going to color this whole part in. And same with her shoulder here. Okay, Robin, not a problem. If any trolls do come in, I can always get rid of them too. So I'm going to try to save a little bit of a highlight right here. Oh man, I feel bad for you, Michelle. 4:30 in the morning is not a time for anybody to be awake. I'm going to bring this pretty heavily in along the bottom of the water because I imagine it would leave a slight shadow. I'm just going to fade it out and cover everything. And then we'll just keep burnishing. Again, same thing here, going to leave a little bit of a shadow here. I'm pretty much just going to color in completely the top here. Okay, Kim, I'll add you right now. Just 2 seconds. Are you coming? Come on then. There you go, Kim. You're officially a mod. Thank you. Come here. Oh, you want outside? Make up your mind, sweetie. Apologies for the loudness. The boys are back upstairs now. So I'm going to do the same thing on this arm that I did on the other arm and kind of save a little bit of a highlight in the center here. So make sure to fade out that light peach so it's a really gradual fade. Angela, yeah, I've set up my stream times to be, well, technically starting about an hour ago, and I'll usually stream for 1 or 2 hours depending on when I can, and that's on Mondays and Wednesdays. I would have liked to do Fridays too, but my little man's going to be in preschool, so I won't be able to stream on Fridays. Okay, I'm really happy with all of that, so we're going to go in with our white now. Thanks, Michelle. Oops. A little too hard there, I guess. It's one thing I love about doing the skin on pictures is it just brings them to life. And if I want to make her skin softer, which I think I will because she spends a lot of time in the water, so I imagine her skin would be really soft. Oh, that's okay, Kayla. Hopefully everything's okay. So to make the rest of her skin look softer, what I'll do is I'll just, over the burnished areas, I'll still go over with the white, just really lightly, just enough to put a little bit of the white in there. And then just a harder pressure where it's not burnished. So I find that putting white over everything just kind of makes her skin look softer and makes it kind of glow a little bit. Also use this to blend into the whites of her eyes as well. Well, glad to have you here then, Angela. I imagine you're probably just off for the day because it's Labor Day. But yeah, I chose to stream in the mornings because even if my husband doesn't have a job on when he's working, he usually still has a shop day, so I know he's going to be at work till noon. So that's why I kind of chose that time because it works best for me. So I think I am going to put this as a highlight, so I'm going to come in with the white, burnish around there, and then Same thing as on her face. I'm just gonna kind of go over everything with the white. But I did tell a couple people that commented on one of my live streams asking about the times. I did tell them that I might do just some kind of random impromptu evening streams as well. They'll probably just kind of be like a last minute thing, or I'll like give an hour's heads up on Instagram and Snapchat. And if you don't have any of those things and want to be notified of streams, you'll have to subscribe and ring the bell. $10,000 subs with no content, huh? Yeah, I'll give you a shout out because so far you only have 14 subs, so you got a long ways to go. It's okay, Kayla. Don't apologize. It's all good. Life happens. Did you just start that challenge? Mr. or Mrs. 10K subs with no content? Well, I wish you luck. It's definitely quite the goal. It'll be interesting to see if you can get there. I would imagine so. If you even get that many subscribers within a year, I'll be impressed. But I just subscribed, so there you go. That way I can keep track too. Okay, there is her hair finished. Her skin. I was looking at her hair while I was coloring because I just can't keep my eyes off of it. What the heck was that? 1 second. Stitch. In or out, guys? Come on. Okay, I think I have a little bit of time left. Let's tackle the sky. So I'm going to grab definitely Indian Throne Blue. And what else? We can blend that into, let's go with True Blue. I want to start off like really light, kind of like a sunset or sunrise. So I'm going to grab the cream. And non-photo blue, I think. Where is that one? Yeah, that one's pretty light. Let me just, I did a picture not too long ago with a sunrise kind of thing going on. Okay, that should work. Let's go with one more darker one. Let's go with artichoke. Well, that's kind of an odd color. Well, I'm going to attempt just one second, guys. I'm off the chat. I'll read back in just a minute here. I'm going to attempt the same kind of sky. Hopefully my phone isn't glaring. I can't really see. As in this picture. And usually I use Marco Raffines for that kind of sky, but I'm going to try with the Prismas and hopefully it works out. Yeah, Kim, that's okay. I have no problem with it. It's just a challenge thing. Okay, so I'm going to take the artichoke and I'm just going to very lightly, first make sure you guys can see. Very bad with that. No, I don't really care. I think it's kind of interesting actually. That's why I subscribed to. I'm just going to very lightly put this in here. And I'm not sure how much of this our fog will color. So we'll just kind of, what are you doing, sir? Stitch, don't even think about it. Stitch. What are you doing? Isn't there another window you can go watch out? Huh? I'm just going to bring this up a little ways here. Yeah, if the person running the stream had a problem with it, they'd probably just block them to begin with. But I don't see an issue. I'm actually kind of interested to see. I'll probably check back every month to see how many subs they've gotten. Because, I mean, it's hard enough to get people to subscribe with you when you actually do put out videos. I can't imagine how difficult it would be to get people to subscribe to you just because. So I'm going to take the cream. I'm going to use this to burnish the artichoke. I'm hoping this turns out good. Like I said, I've never done this kind of sky with Prismacolors before. Kayla, Kim said that's up to Skyee, and you came back with, I know that's up to her. I was just saying normally it's not in a lot of streams, just letting her know I knew Skyee wouldn't care. I think she meant that to 10K. Apparently, Angela, he's just sitting here staring at me. I don't know what he wants. He's actually letting me pet him for once. You good boy. If you lay down on this picture, I'm going to be mad. You never want to cuddle. Stitch, what is this? Stitch! Oh no. Why do you want to cuddle when I'm streaming? Huh? You never want to cuddle. It's not fair. It's not have to boot you off of here. You're a good boy. Oh, you're even purring. Oh my gosh, you guys, what do I do? What do I do with you? A little kitty intermission. Yeah, I have to take advantage of it when he actually wants to cuddle because it never happens. This must be my once a month. Are you feeling lonely, huh? I do. I'd have to send them through email, I think, though. I did for a couple people, and I think they worked out, so... Yes, I absolutely love Lilo and Stitch. I have both of them. Stitch right here, and Lilo's out somewhere. I don't, but I could make you a chart. I made quite a few charts for my pencils. Some of them, like the Morphine one, I found. Same with the Prisma one. But I did make ones like this where you just have like circles and then I can put the title at the top. Excuse me, sir. What do you think this is? See, he loves playing. He just attack people all the time. I wasn't trying with you. You sing so pretty. Yeah, I can definitely do that, hun. It probably won't be today, but I could probably do it either Wednesday or Thursday. Isn't that such a beautiful hat? Look at all the pretty colors. Yeah, I think I can see you a little better. Let's bring you this way. There. So, what is everybody else coloring, if you are coloring anything? Yeah, he is pretty cute. He's got the perfect little wildcat face. He looks like a miniature wildcat. Little jungle kitty. Yeah. I absolutely love Dee Dee's cat. I haven't seen the other one she has, but I've seen Malibu. She is beautiful. I always joked about getting a pure white cat and a pure black cat and naming them yin and yang. But oh boy, are you ever shedding. Holy kitty. Thought you're supposed to be keeping your fur now that it's winter almost. Oh, they're both white? Oh, that's awesome. I was pretty excited when Dee Dee got cats. Cats seem to be a big thing with us colorists. So Kim is working on a contest picture for a Facebook group. Oh, that's interesting, Kim. What book did you go with for that? Yeah, I see that, Kayla. I definitely will. You're so cute. I just can't even handle it. This is probably the longest you've sat here. You have such bad timing. Oh, that's cute. My friend used to have a cat. His name was... He was a big orange cat. I can't remember his name. I want to say like Snickers or Snicklefritz or something like that. He was huge. They definitely are amazing animals. And the thing I love about cats more than dogs is dogs kind of depend on you, but cats just kind of, they choose you. They only love you because they want to. And it's on their terms. Whereas a dog, dogs are nice because they will love you unconditionally. But I don't know. To me, I feel like with a cat, it's a lot more meaningful. Jody completed the Coloring Haven cover this month. Or this morning, sorry. Is now coloring Misfits. Are you going to sleep? You're not allowed to sleep. You're going to be here forever. Yeah, you probably could do that too, Kayla. He's going to sleep. Look at this cat. He's sleeping. You know I'm gonna have to kick you off here, right? Probably gonna have to take a picture of you first, though. So guys, just gonna turn this light off for 1 minute so I can take a picture of this cat. You are so cute, dude. What are we gonna do with you? Huh? Come on, buddy. Okay. Come on. Oh. You almost knocked me over. You're so heavy. Holy. No, you're not going back up there. If you want to lay on my lap, you can. How about that? He's like, no, I don't want to. What is light? What are you after? Stitch? Oh my god, you guys. He is never like this. Like, ever. What are you doing? Apparently, he's stubborn too. Stitch. Do you want a kitty treat? Huh? Let's get you a treat. Yep, that'll do it. Fatty can't resist treats. That's what I was thinking too. It must be the light. I'm not sure what it is. Might have to have that light on more often. Maybe he'd cuddle with me all the time. But treats always win. I'll be surprised if he comes back up here. So I'm still going in with my cream. And I'm going to bring this up to about here and then just start kind of fading it out. And I want to fade it out really, really lightly. I don't want much color in there at all. Otherwise, when we put the blue in, it'll turn it kind of a green. No doubt, Angela. What? Oh, now you want out? Okay. Go ahead. Thanks for the cuddles, mister. Oh, now he's going to go attack his sister. You got cuddles and treats? Oh, now you want treats, don't you? better eat them quick. Okay, you just had yours. You have one more. Okay. Lilo, eat them quick. Quick, quick. You'll come eat them on you. Okay, now I'm going to take my non-photo blue, just after I sharpen it. And I'm going to start putting it right above where I faded out the cream. And then I'm just going to very lightly fade it in over top of the cream. I'll keep adding to it until I get kind of that seamless blend there. And then I'm just going to bring this up a bit and fade this out as well. This one doesn't even, it puts out a little bit of heat, not very much. Okay, once we're happy with that blend, I'm also going to put a little bit of that color in over on this side, fade it out really quick because it stops right about here on the other side. And I'll just finish this side up just so I'm not moving back and forth. Okay, then we're going to switch to our true blue, which I should probably sharpen too, actually. That's funny, 10K, because I'm not very patient. But yeah, when it comes to coloring, I guess I am. So I'm just going to lightly blend that in to the non-photo blue. I don't want too much of this color in here, so I'm going to fade it out right away. And then I imagine there's probably a bit of cloud here that Hannah forgot to draw in, so I'm just going to put a little bit of line of blue there. And then same thing, I'll just bring it up and fade it out. Charlotte, so far we can't decide between green, blue, or I think it was Kim suggested like an amberish yellow color, which I think would also look really good. And since she's a mermaid, her eyes can pretty much be any color. So I think what we'll do when it's time to color her eyes is we'll use the tracing paper trick. So I'll take some tracing paper and color in a bunch of different pieces, different colors of her eyes, and then we can use the tracing paper to kind of see what the color will look like. So I'm going to go back in with the non-photo blue, and I'm just going to blend this up into the true blue a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the true blue again and blend that into the non-photo blue a little bit more until I'm happy with it. Yeah, it is. I don't know how I would pick colors sometimes without that trick. I've actually been using that trick for a long time. I remember there was a lot of people that were really happy with it when I posted. It was actually a trick that I used in my earliest Prismacolor combinations video. I'm not sure if I was the first one to think of that, but I think I was the first one to post about it. Well, that's neat, 10K. What do you like to color? So in with the Indian Throne blue. I'm just going to make it really dark at the top and just kind of bring it down into that true blue a little bit. And now that I got the colors mapped out, I'm going to make sure the Indian Throne blue is burnished at the top. I'm going to make sure I have enough of the color to blend into the true blue. Well, that's cool, 10K. And I'm going to take the true blue and I'm going to use that to pretty much burnish this area. And come to about the tip of this cloud. And fade that out. And then lastly, we'll take our non-photo blue and just burnish the rest of this. And I'm going to bring this up over everything. Just because this one has a little bit of a harder lead, so it will get rid of the white spots a little bit easier. Plus it kind of dilutes that Indian Throne blue, so while it's still really dark, it'll look a little bit more like a morning sky. Angela, the trick where you use tracing paper to kind of place over your picture and then color a spot that you're not sure about, you could try out a few different colors to figure out which one would work best for you. I do have a fur video coming up in November, but I use acrylic paint and colored pencil, mostly acrylic paint. Because again, I'm a lazy colorist and acrylic paint is a lot faster than pencil. So back in with the non-photo blue, just gonna make sure that fades out really nice. We're gonna do the same thing over here, so I'm gonna switch back to the true blue. And fade that into there as well. And again, I don't want too much of this color, so I'm going to fade it up pretty quick. I want the Indian Throne blue to be a lot more noticeable on this side. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I would probably butcher it. Can I just call you Iz? No, there really aren't many pencil videos. I could do one. I know how to do some decent skin with pencils, but I just usually don't use pencil because, like I said, it's a lot faster just to use acrylic paint. Hi Ray, thanks for being here. And now I'm going to switch to Indian Throne blue. And again, we're going to make it really dark at the top. And then we'll start fading it out into the true blue. Our true blue is mostly just a transition color because it would be a little bit more difficult to blend the Indian Throne blue into the non-photo blue. Is this challenge something that you just kind of thought up, or is this something that's just kind of going on that other people are doing too? Okay, once we're happy with the amount of color in there. Oh, no problem, Robin. It's all good. That's pretty cool. It's always nice to challenge yourself. I had a challenge to try and finish, because I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm not like, I'm going to start exercising every day or any of that. I make like yearly goals. And I had 2 goals for this year. One I already finished, and that was coloring a page in all of my main coloring books. And then the other one was to finish this book that I'm actually working in right now. And I am very behind on it. So I kind of changed it. Now I'm just going to try to make a big dent in this book. And then hopefully I'll have it done next year. I don't know. I think you could get to 100 subs easily enough. I think like 1,000 would be really hard. 10,000 is a lot. So I'm going to finish up this sky, and then I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. I kind of get ready. We have the father-in-law coming down, and the niece and nephew coming over. So once you're happy with that blend and the color put in with the true blue, we can switch back to the non-photo blue. And when we get into that yellow, that's when it's going to be a little bit harder. And just to avoid a catastrophe, I will probably just use my blender pencil to blend the two together. That way we don't end up with a weird greenish sky color. Thank you, Charlotte. I don't blame you, Jody. I have done a few pages with muted tones, but I don't know. I'm more of like I love like the vibrant colors and the ones that are really out there. It's really hard to not put really bright colors into a page. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my blender pencil if I can find it. I'm going to sharpen it and make sure it's clean. No, 10K, I didn't draw this. This is a Hannah Lynn picture. She is one of my favorite color book artists. Connie, I'm not sure if that question is for me or somebody else. If it is for me, though, I do live in Canada. If not, just never mind me. So I'm going to take my blender pencil and using those small circular motions, I'm just going to bring that up slowly into the blue, mix it up where they meet, and then I'll continue on. Clean off my pencil and then do the same thing at this part. One second, I'm going to shut my door. And I think just because I'm liking the look of the sky with the blender pencil over top of it, I'm just going to come in and just completely blend this in. It's already pretty burnished, so I'm just going to lightly go over this. And then I'll do the same on the other side. Thank you, Robin. Make sure the blender pencil's clean. Don't want to get a darker color mixed in with your lighter color. And I think to end the stream, we will put in a little bit of stars in the darkest parts of the sky. So I'm going to take my Signo Uniball broad pen. And I don't want it to be too overwhelming, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put just a couple bigger dots spaced out, some closer together. So that's going to be my starting point, and I usually do this just so I don't make it too cluttered. It's kind of hard to make the stars look natural. So then after I do that, I'm just going to come in, and I'm just going to put some random dots here, there, and everywhere. You also put a little cross star in there. Apologies if you can hear my cats fighting behind the door. And we'll just do the same thing here. I think I'm only going to do one little cross star. So here I'll just put in some other little dots. And I find the key to making it look more natural is having some clustered and some further away. And I think that'll do it. One last thing I'm going to do is take my black fine liner and I'm just going to create a black edge there just so it kind of matches with the rest of that cloud. And I think that's it for today's stream. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I want to thank everybody who's not here anymore but was here earlier. Oh, thanks 10K. Yeah, for the most part, the coloring community is very uplifting and supportive. I think that's part of why I love coloring so much. I haven't met very many mean people. Thanks, Charlotte. I usually do too. This is a page I did in Mythomorphia. And can we all just cringe at the amount of dots that I put in there? Because, oh boy, way too many. I don't like it. So, I will be back again, same time on Wednesday, so that's 11 a.m. MDT, and it's pretty much about 2 hours behind the time right now, whatever time you have now. Yeah, that is a lot of dots. So I hope you guys all have a great day or night, wherever you are, and I hope to see you guys Wednesday. Thanks again for being here. Bye!